No me pasaron cómo poner las transiciones nada más. ¿Dónde? House of Fate, vale. No me pasaron cómo poner las transiciones nada más. Ah, ya vi cómo ponerlo. Pásame el ¿Dónde? El archivo. House of Fate, vale. Ok. No me pasaron cómo poner las transiciones nada más.
winning team is Rutopia from Tec de Monterrey.
Hello, good afternoon. Buenas tardes. 21 Hult Pride Monterrey Summit, co-hosted by hello to participants to air live on social media. My name is Ivan. I'm excited and happy for what to be an impact event. All we just wrapped up with our mortgage change about. Yes. Okay. Can you hear me now? Great.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nelly Andrade. I'm Chief of Staff of the Hult Prize Foundations. Quick apologies, we're facing a little bit of technical issues, but our rockstar MC, Ivana, will be back in a few. First of all, I want to welcome everyone watching directly from their homes, from our live stream on social media. Welcome to our second part of our Impact Summit in Monterrey. And also to all of the participants also participating with us. Just to give a little context, we just finished our very first student orientation from our 2021 Impact Summit in Monterrey. And now we're gonna hear a little bit from some nonprofit leaders, social entrepreneurs, and authorities from our co-host Tec de Monterrey. So before I get started, I want to give a few thanks. First, I am originally from Monterrey, and I am also an alumni from Tec de Monterrey. So I'm personally excited to be here today. So first and foremost, I want to thank Tec de Monterrey, our co-host, for this weekend that promises to be a memorable event, for making this event happen. Second, to all of our speakers with us today, thank you so much for your time. I am sure all of our participants will be incredibly inspired just for the opportunity of being able to listen to you. Third, our organizing committee, we have over 30 students and staff from Tec de Monterrey working day and night to make this happen. Big hand of applause for you. And last but not least, all of our competitors. Every year, the Hult Prize mobilizes thousands of students to change the world through business. And this year, the most challenging year yet in the history of our planet, we had not the same amount of students, but even more participating in the challenge. And to all of you watching I get goosebumps just by saying these, our 200 change makers that have worked tireless days and nights during a pandemic and with your exams and lots of things going on. Congratulations. It takes a lot of courage, a lot of talent, and a lot of time to be here. So congratulations to all of you. So once again, my name is Nelly Andrade, Chief of Staff of the Hult Prize Foundation. I'm super excited to be here. My journey with the Hult Prize started years ago when I was a student from Tec de Monterrey. And honestly, I competed in the Hult Prize. I then became a campus director. And every year, the Hult Prize trains all of these students to become change makers in their community and beyond. Fast forward to now, I would have never imagined, if I looked back when I was volunteering in this experience, organizing a couple of activities for the Hult Prize in my university, that I would be able to grow in such a leadership position within a huge organization, and that now I would be speaking in an event in my hometown, back where it all started. So for me, it's really emotional. I'm really happy to welcome all of you, for those watching at home and those with us today. Not to make anything further and nothing longer, I'm gonna go through a few slides just to talk about the Hult Prize, give us a quick intro, and then we'll go ahead with our speakers. So what's happening today to all of you watching on social media? We are kicking off our Impact Summits. We're in our Impact Summits season, and what's happening is that during these 2 days, we're gonna have hundreds of students presenting their game-changing ideas around food for good in Monterrey, virtually and not so virtually. And by the end of tomorrow, we're gonna know who is the winner. Now, Monterrey is one of 50 different cities from all around the planet in every continent of the world, where exactly what is happening right now is happening every elsewhere. And that again gives me goosebumps, because it means that we're literally mobilizing a whole generation to present their ideas to change the world through business. Now, what is the Hult Prize to all of this? The Hult Prize is the largest and most prestigious organization in the planet that focuses on action-based learning, impact education, and large-scale job creation. How do we do this? Our mission is to allow students just like you, just as it happened to me, to discover and envision themselves as leaders in their communities and beyond. The way we do this is through our global partners, the United Nations, EF Education First, Hult International Business School, and we've been named the Nobel Prize for Students, one of the top 10 ideas, 10 most innovative countries, 10 most innovative companies in the planet, and one of the top 5 ideas changing the world by Bill Clinton. Once again, English is not my first language, so then I confuse a little bit of my words. But with that in mind, I'll continue. How do we make this happen? Through a bunch of different programs. If you go through our website, you're going to be able to see that we host offline, online festivals, competitions, events, workshops, accelerators, gala dinners in castles at the United Nations, and even programs that will allow you as a student to get a certification on different topics. Among them, for example, pitching. In short, we're a global community of young people and not so young people leading a generation to change the world. So this is it from my side. Welcome everyone once again. Congratulations to everyone participating, and to everyone watching. I promise you this is going to be quite an evening of inspiration. So I'm not sure if our dear host is ready to jump in again, but while we see if she's back, I want just to make sure if we have our first speaker of the evening here to give us a warm welcome, Dr. Mario Adrian. I want to make sure if you're here. If not, I'm going to just go ahead and move forward with our next speaker, also from Tec de Monterrey, Ingeniero Ulrich Noel, Director of El Instituto de Emprendimiento Eugenio Garza Lagüera. Ingeniero Ulrich, the mic is all yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, that's sorry for the picture. And I'm not always wearing jackets and blazers. So thank you for the invitation. So as Nelly mentioned, I'm part of the entrepreneurship team here at the Monterrey Tech, and we are really excited and humbled to host the Hult Prize these years and the years to come, and every time we will have the opportunity, we'll do it. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself and what's my journey as an entrepreneur, and hopefully you can actually take some of my experience and use it as an inspiration. So I come from a really small town in Mexico. It's a town of about 30,000 people. I grew up just going to the market and selling stuff and trying to make myself alive. And that put me through college, and actually had the opportunity to go to the Monterrey Tech, pay myself for my education. And the first thing I did after graduate, I actually founded a venture investment fund. This is back in 2000, when impact investment and social entrepreneurship was not a thing. And one of the biggest things I learned is we had the opportunity to have access to great education, to a lot of means and a lot of resources. So one of the things that I challenge you to do is to bring the resources, or to bring the talent, to use that to pay forward, to bring wealth and development to the less fortunate in the world. And this is not something that is endemic to our development countries. This happens in the streets of New York, happens in the streets of San Francisco, also happens in our countries. But every time that we actually build a company and to create a solution and to bring something to a market that is not only creating value for stakeholders and for shareholders, it's also creating value for the community, it's creating value for the environment, and it's helping us to be a better world, to be better humanity. That's the challenge. And this is a challenge that it's been going on for centuries. So I would just encourage you to take us forward and to show us what is the future and what's the future lies in front of us. Because with like the previous generation, now we are managing organization, and we kind of like went deep into the world of managing organizations. Sometimes we lost the imagination on what is possible. So I want to ask you, every one of you, to actually help us to imagine a better world and to show us the way to make it real. We from the Monterrey Tech and the entire organization and all the universities that are partner with us and to make this happen, will make everything in our way and everything possible to help you to achieve this. I just want to say that, again, we're really humble, we're really excited. I look forward to see all the pitches in the coming hours, in the coming days, and hopefully I had the opportunity to talk one-on-one with you guys and maybe share some of our other experiences to working as a social entrepreneur around the world. Thank you everyone for the invitation, and I'll be available if you want to connect one-to-one in the next hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Ingeniero Ulrich. That was amazing. I think we hadn't had the pleasure of meeting each other in person or virtually, but I'm really happy to have you with us today. Now I'm gonna give the mic to Dr. Mario Adrian. I think we have him now with us. Dr. Mario, can you please try to unmute your mic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Perfect.
I'm ready. Thank you, Nelly. I'm so happy to be here with all of you in this Hult Prize Summit Monterrey. I've been following Hult Prize since the beginning in Mexico. I remember when I was very close to the ProTrack team, when I was part of the coaches in that moment. And I could see how a great social innovation project can go until the final contest in the Hult Prize, where only the 6 best projects could be in that contest. So I'm so proud to as a Tech de Monterrey, to be involved in the Hult Prize. It's a great initiative that promotes the social innovation in all the countries around the world. I want to say thank you for this invitation, Kristen, Antonio Rios from our entrepreneurship team in Campus Monterrey, and Valeria Soto. It's good to see you here. And thanks for all the students that are supporting the development of this great event. So thank you for all of them. Thanks for the Hult Prize directors and staff too. And I am sure that these more than 200 initiatives from 40 countries around the world, at the end of the day, all of you, there are students that are participating, you will win. It doesn't matter if you won't win. That what means. I remember when Bill Clinton delivered the prize to the winner. He said that most of the times the initiatives that doesn't get the first prize are good ones, and sometimes they are continue to develop his initiative. So please, dear students that are involved in these initiatives, continue with the effort, because your product, your service, or what you are promoting based in social innovation, I'm sure that gonna be welcome in the communities or the initiatives that you are promoting. So please don't drop your idea. Keep in the way. It doesn't matter if you win or not, because the world needs people like you and ideas from you. So enjoy this participation, enjoy the whole Pride Summit Monterrey, and I'm sure we're gonna see great proposals for social innovation. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to join you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mario Adrian. We are really honored to have you with us today and for your warm welcome to all of our participant teams. So I'm going to see now if our dear MC is able to have good connection now. Ivana, can we do a quick trial just to make sure we can hear you and see you?
Sure, I'm here. I'm back. Can you hear me and everything? Everything good? Functioning?
All
Okay,
good.
perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna hand it off to you now, Ivana. Thank you so much. Very happy to have you back with us.
Thank you so much, Nelly. Now let's welcome Alejandro Sousa, founder of Pixa, to share a bit of his story to all of us. With studies in Babson College and Columbia University, Alejandro founded Pixa, one of the most successful and first social enterprises in Mexico in 2015. They offer the famous, ultra-delicious, and only in the planet blue corn pizza with a deep social cause and 100% Mexican. Alejandro has known more than 80 countries traveling with his backpack, and in 2014, he published his first book, Letters to Momo, a remarkable story about the power to overcome, also translated into Spanish. Alejandro, thank you so much for being with us today. Please tell us more about you and your amazing story. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, Ivana, and hello to everyone. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here with all of you, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be able to share a little bit about who we are and what we've done at Pixa. So I'll go ahead and jump right in. Could I get the ability to share the screen, please? Thank you so much. And congratulations to all the students and to everybody that is a part of Hult Prize. This is an amazing organization, and I'm really happy to be able to share a few thoughts with you guys today. So to begin, I wanted to do a little empathy exercise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys questions, and if the question that I'm asking represents who you are, you have to raise your hand. And then I'm going to ask another question, and if that still represents who you are, then can you guys can see me, right?
No.
No. Okay.
Can you turn off your virtual background, please?
Yes. I just realized I have this on. Give me just 1 second.
There, now looks perfect.
Yes. Okay. Excellent. All right, we're back. So as I was saying, hello to everybody again. I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. And then, so for example, if I say, please raise your hand if you are an American citizen. So anybody who's an American citizen would raise their hand, right? And then I'm going to say, keep your hand raised if you're an American citizen and you have blue eyes. So if you're an American citizen and you have blue eyes, you keep your hand raised, all right? Is that clear for everyone? Okay, so you can go ahead and use those buttons that you guys have. All right, let's get started. So please raise your hand if ever you guys have been homeless or you've lived on the streets. Okay, keep your hands raised if you guys have been homeless and you were abandoned by your family. Raise your hand or keep them raised if those two things are true and you have no formal education. Well, you would all have to put your hand down for that one immediately, right? Now, raise your hand or keep it raised if you have all those three and you have a criminal record. Keep it raised if you have all those four conditions, plus you have a history of drug abuse. Keep your hand raised if you have all of those 5, plus your refugees, migrants, or you have been deported. Now, please raise your hand if you are age 17 to 30. So keep that in mind as we move forward. I'm going to tell you guys today a story about how much power a single slice of pizza can have. And to tell you about this story, you got to go back to the beginning. And at the beginning is this desire to help solve a very profound social problem in Mexico, which is social abandonment. How big is this problem? Well, in Mexico, 70% of the population has a social abandonment profile, and only 30% of them manage to leave that profile during their lifetime. So only 30% of them manage to die in a different socioeconomical situation than that they were born into. So what do they need in order to actually leave that condition? They need inclusion, jobs, and empowerment. And that's exactly why we were born. So Pizza is a social empowerment platform disguised as a pizzeria. So to understand who we are and what we do, you have to understand both of those worlds. So let's start with the easy and the delicious part of the business, which is that, as Ivana mentioned, we created the world's first blue corn pizza made out of 100% Mexican ingredients. So the Mexican revolution of pizza. What you're seeing on your screen is actually a delicious grasshoppers pizza. And we sell it in 5 locations in Mexico City. And we have an entire national distribution network where students just like yourselves can actually sell our pizzas straight from their houses and in their communities and lead that movement. And as a social empowerment platform, we exclusively hire young adults aged 17 to 30, just like you guys, in a social abandonment profile. And what does that mean? That they have 2 of those 6 characteristics that I mentioned at the beginning. All right, so imagine you guys being that exact same age that you are, but having at least 2 of those 6 characteristics. That's a really hard card to be dealt with when you're born. And most of the kids that we work with, they have at least 4 or 5 of those characteristics because many of those go hand in hand. So what we do is we offer them an opportunity to retake control of their lives. So how do we do it? We built a 12-month multidimensional empowerment program to help them achieve those 3 objectives. Have professional development training at Pizza, have social emotional skills development, and ensure and maintain their independent living. In terms of the first one, we help them ensure and maintain their jobs, and they have an increase in their in their salaries every 3 months. And the whole objective of the first objective is for them to become, the store managers and branch managers. In the second one, we do
Okay, I think we might have been having some IT issues. Guess the internet is not on our side today, but anyways, these things happen when we do those events online. So moving on, and hope we can go back to Alejandro in the future, but so far has been really shocking story, I think, for all of us, what Alejandro has been sharing. Hope we can hear a lot from it in a few minutes when he's back. So in the meantime, we're gonna go and introduce one true example of women empowerment and Mexican impact enterprises, Cristina, CFO of Grillum. Cristina, I don't know if you're here with us. Okay, wait, I'm so sorry. Alejandro seems to be coming into the room again, so hopefully he can fix his IT problems.
Hi guys, sorry. Yeah, thing is I'm at a
Welcome back,
hospital.
Alejandro.
I'm at a hospital with a friend of mine. It was very last notice.
Don't
So
worry.
we don't have a lot of good internet here. So let's try this again. So I was saying that we practice mindfulness in the morning. They keep a gratitude journal. They do different strengths and aerobic exercises, and they all have one-on-one personal sessions in order to understand how they're moving along in their route of change, which is this personal transformation program. And finally, we help them ensure and maintain their independent living. And that means helping them create a life plan, achieve 75% of those indicators, and we actually help them move out of the shelter where we originally hire them from and move into their own apartment, which is super transformational. So how does this work? Well, we have a sustainable for-profit, for-impact model that means that every slice that we sell generates impact from the get-go, right? So after every 10 slices that we sell, one of these slices gets automatically generated and delivered to previously homeless young adults at shelters. So that's how our product makes sure that our beneficiaries, the companies, and our customers have the exact same experience. And so when we deliver that pizza to the nearby shelter, it is accompanied with a personal note that our customers leave. And with that personal note, they automatically get offered a job. It's that easy, no more questions asked. And so how we fared these 5 years? Well, we've employed over 200 young adults, and 85 of them have graduated from the entire program. And the entire program before, for the first 3 years, it was an 18-month program. So it's a lot to do from moving from a shelter into your own apartment in 12 months. It's a lot to ask for, but it's possible because they believe in themselves. And we've been awarded many international recognitions and awards. And not only are we able to do what we do, but the industry has a very high yearly turnover rate for employees, which is 138%. Ours is 40%. So it's dramatically less in spite of us hiring exclusively a more challenging profile. And the reason we accomplish this is because in addition to everything that we do, we're focused on the human being before the human doing. And we make sure that our employees have a continuous involvement in multidimensional well-being. So what we've done is that we've developed a very humane formula to empower people and places. And that's based on belonging, on open hiring, and generating this sense of proximity. And that, in addition to multidimensional well-being, which we measure using state-of-the-art, positive psychology tools, helps us have empowered people and empowered places. So that Luis can say exactly what he says, right? Which is having a sense of belonging and a sense of family because you evolve from hiring to empowering. So that's about pizza. And so the question is, how much power does that single slice of pizza have now? So the rhetorical question is, can food change lives? Well, we believe it can, right? And we've been honored to be part of a movement that has showed us every single day that that's possible. Now, going to you guys, which is what you're moving into this space of being able to create your own ideas. I think it's very important for you guys to find your big why. And what I mean by that is, thinking about what Nietzsche said, which is if you have a big why in life, or he who has a big why in life can endure anyhow. So, the entrepreneurial roller coaster is super intense and it gets crazy. So you guys have to remember why it is that you're doing what you're doing in the first place. And when it gets crazy, that's when you have to come up with that big why, remind yourselves, and that's what's going to allow you to navigate all those hows. Because entrepreneurship is just about navigating in this massive world of uncertainty with the lights all turned out at the same time and not knowing what the next step is. So the only thing that's going to turn those lights on is your big why. And in order to find that big why, well, we got to go back to Socrates and remember that the unexamined life is not worth living. So what I recommend is that you guys prioritize self-discovery, right? And this Hult Prize is an absolutely amazing opportunity for you guys to step out of your comfort zone so that inner genius can actually come out and get to know who you are so that you guys can become you, become completely you, and become uniquely you. Because what the world needs is for you guys to be, at the highest tip of your potential. And that's what the world needs. So prioritize who you guys are and get that big why. And don't do things based out of inertia, do things based out of consciousness and out of a real and true connection to who you are and what that big why is, right? And I'll share with you this quick passion formula, which is once you have that big why, well, that's having passion with meaning, right? And we need passion with meaning. And then in order to put that big why to work, you need discipline. And that means you need passion with structure. And finally, because everything is going to go exactly the other way that you expected it to go, you need perseverance. And that's passion with hope. And you continue to do this, and this is what's going to keep you going with a big smile on your face down the entrepreneurial roller coaster. And that big why ultimately is that passion bulletproofed with meaning and purpose. And that's what we need you guys to have. And that's what we need you guys to fully instill into your projects. And step two, as you are doing already, you're called agents of change, right? You're called change agents. But recognizing that agency of change, I want to offer a brief thought about what agency of change means. And for me, it means recognizing and manifesting that everything you choose to do and not do has an impact. So it's all about what we do. It's all about also what we choose not to do, but it's recognizing and manifesting that. So recognizing is conceptual, mental. You get it and you understand it. Manifesting it is taking it from the theoretical landscape to the action landscape. So it's very important you guys bridge that gap, right? And therefore you start to ask yourselves, and start to analyze things based on their existential opportunity cost. What is going to be more meaningful for my life and for the life of others and for the life of the planet? Those are the actions that you have to start taking, because we need you guys to be doing what you're doing there and at that intersection. And when you get to the point that you recognize an impact opportunity, I hope that it generates the desire and this responsibility to act. So when you realize these things, just have that innate desire because it connects to your big why, and then throw on some responsibility so that you actually do something about it. And as a final note, on all you guys passionate about going on this path to change the world, remember that you need enough ego to know that you can change the world, enough humility to know that you cannot do it by yourselves, and enough courage to act. I wish you the best in your entrepreneurial endeavors, and thank you so much for everything you are and everything you do.
Thank you so much, Alejandro, for your inspiring words. I'm sure it would be of great help for all of our contestants to really think about the big why, as you say, that we are here to change the world through business, right? So, okay, we're about to close this first night of our Impact Summit. And for that, we have brought Nelly with some more Q&A. So please, Nelly, could you take over for the Q&A for the students?
Sure, thank you so much, Ivana. Yes, my apologies for that small change, but I think with such a personality like Alejandro, I think we've met a couple of times. One in Pizza, I think we needed to do some Q&A with our students. So we're receiving a couple of questions from our participants. As of now, we have students from Peru, pretty much from all of Latin America, Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Mexico, a few from Japan and other parts of the planet. And so we have a couple of questions coming in. I'm going to say them to you and then you can help me and start answering them. The first one is around your path. How did you know that this was the path you wanted for your life?
Great question, thank you. I've been a social entrepreneur all my life. I studied entrepreneurship, went to Babson, focused on social entrepreneurship. From there, went to Uganda and worked with cooperative peanut farmers, small scale peanut farmers, then went to Rwanda and helped launch the country's first joint English and language management training institute, went to Bhutan, went to Brazil, then came back to Mexico. And all of these times I was looking for different ways to add value. And finally I did my master's in sustainable development in a program that trained me in helping communities that live with less than $1.25 a day break through the poverty trap. So from the beginning, since ever, I mean, it just never made sense for me for business to just create money. It has to create value, and value means just leaving the world better than you found it. So it was just natural from the beginning.
Thank you. Another question coming in, and now just to contextualize where all of our students coming from, all of them are either in their second, third, maybe fourth years of university, and you can imagine sometimes it becomes a difficult conversation with their parents and explaining what they're doing. They want to be entrepreneurs, and not only entrepreneurs, but entrepreneurs focusing on impact. So question is, did any people not support your idea or your journey at the beginning? And if yes, how did you cope on, staying focused and moving forward with your enterprise?
Great question. Of course. I mean, when you're an entrepreneur, you're going to get one yes for every 20,000 no's, and you need to know that, right? So, and what I mean by that is that the only yes that matters is your own. So you can't go through life trying to please everyone. You have to go through life trying to maybe connect with your big why. So, and if that big why is obviously connected with what it is that you guys are doing, which is, leaving the world better than you found it, it'll only be a matter of time before people start turning around. So if you have that expectation that people are just going to love what you're doing and say yes from the beginning, it's going to be a very lonely path. Just know that the only yes that you need is yours, and connect to that big why, and remember why it is that you're doing things. If you're just doing things because your parents told you to, or because somebody told you to, you're going to run out of that passion fuel really fast.
Thank you so much. I'm sure our students will appreciate a lot your answer. And now, this year's challenge for the whole prize is around food for good. How can students transform the food industry from the time the food is in the farm, transportation, the supply chain, even when it's disposed, they're able to propose ideas on the whole supply chain of food. So the question is, why did you decide to start a company, a social impact company on food, and what inspired you to do it around, to build Pizza at the beginning?
Great question. So, how Pizza came to be, I was at a bar with a friend of mine in New York City while I was doing my master's program, and I was doing what Mexicans do abroad, which is missing Mexican food. So we were reminiscing about Mexican dishes, and there's traditional Mexican dish called huarache, which translates into sandal, and it's just basically made out of blue corn. And the idea came to my mind, and I thought, well, it's so weird that there's no such thing as a blue corn pizza. Maybe it's not possible. And then I started dreaming about, changing pepperoni and all those traditional ingredients to just Mexican ingredients. And then I said, I'm going to call it pizza, because that's how Mexicans say pizza. So that was it. I mean, it was just an idea that came to mind while I was reminiscing about food. And one of the classes that I took at my master's was a journalism class, actually. And the professor asked us to find one person in the city of New York whose story that we loved, and to become that person's shadow for the duration of the semester. And he was going to give us storytelling tools to tell that person's story. And I was always deeply fascinated by the homelessness crisis. From an early age, my mom used to take me to different shelters, and it was just a reality that was normalized in my life. And in New York, obviously, I that experience was also very very evident and very present. So I decided to use that opportunity to connect with someone from that perspective and from that reality. And that's when I met Joe. Joe was a person who had been living on the streets for 20 years. When we met, he was already working at one of the various shelters that he was a beneficiary of. So he had this amazing perspective of the entire spectrum. And we became friends. I spent a few nights on the streets. I spent a lot of nights at the shelter. I would go volunteer every Friday to cook in the shelter. And one day coming out of that shelter, I said, well, if someday I start my Blue Corn Pizzeria restaurant, I'm only going to employ homeless individuals. And that's how it started. And then I went back to Mexico, did the whole ethnographic deep research again for 4 months in Mexico, because the situation is different. And that was Pizza. So I guess go to bars with friends.
Yeah, go to bars, but also be exposed to, situations that make you in a way shocked, and that want you to really engage with the problem, right? But yeah, go to bars with friends. I'm gonna take that that tip for sure. I have 3 more questions, Alejandro, but I'm gonna tell them to you, and then you can choose which ones to answer. One of them is around iterating. Most of the teams they're on a very, very early stage. Some of them have a small prototype, or they're just starting right now, and they are facing this problem of changing their idea a lot every now and then. So first question is, how much did you iterate around Pizza? Did it suffer a lot of changes along the way? Maybe yes, maybe not. Second is, how much time did it took to go from idea into reality? I think you sort of touched on those points a little bit, but that one would also be super, super good. And then third, that I'm gonna connect it with the fourth one, just so that we can start closing, is what are the common mistakes that you see now that you are an entrepreneur and you see like other entrepreneurs starting from the beginning? What is some common mistakes that you see with students that you would recommend them to, keep an eye out so that they don't, to avoid these mistakes? And finally, some tips and tricks for all of these students that are trying to launch a startup related to food in the next couple of months. So those are all
excellent. Great. So iterate absolutely every single day. And I think this last year we've revamped our entire business model like 10 times, and we've gone through CPR like 10 times just this year, right? So every single day you're gonna start iterating, and you're co-designing. At the end of the day, as social entrepreneurs, you're co-designing continuously with your beneficiaries. And the young adults that we employed 5 years ago when we started 6 years ago, they're not the same as the ones that we're employing today. And so the interventions change, everything changes. So iteration is basically your bread and butter. It's a daily thing. And that's why you have to be super comfortable with uncertainty as an entrepreneur. And you can't think that things are going to stay the same. They're just all, it's just this it's a dynamic evolutionary self. That's what the entrepreneurial roller coaster is. So second one, idea to reality. It took, so 2 years after that bar is when I started to work on pizza. So the idea came, and then the idea coming out of the shelter came. But then 2 years later is when I actually sat down with pen to paper and started to build pizza, and that took 5 months. So it was 5 months of building the idea, of spending a lot of times with different experts and different stakeholders in the entire industry, and then putting everything together, learning how to cook, learning how to make a pizza, because I had never worked at a restaurant in my life, only those volunteering experiences I had at the shelter. So it was all thrown in together 4 months. And common mistakes, there's a lot of common mistakes. I think number one is you guys don't have the answers, and that's something intense to say. And what I mean by that is that our job and our role as social entrepreneurs is to pay attention and to listen. And that means we have to ask the right questions, because in most cases, we are not our beneficiaries. And that is exactly why we can build these companies to help them. And the same as you, I couldn't raise my hand when I was asked those same characteristics. And that's exactly why I can do something about it, right? So the first thing is, you guys don't have the answers. So ask the right questions. They have the right answers. You guys together with them come up with solutions, because fortunately then you guys have everything that you have at your disposal to come up with solutions. So number one common mistake is confusing yourself with your beneficiary and thinking that you know exactly what is good for them, and therefore you stop dignifying them and you just throw them solutions in their face without even asking them if this is something that they want or need. So ask and observe. That's number one. And number two is this illusion that you guys control things. You guys don't control absolutely anything. You guys control your attitude, and you guys control the energy that you're going to put into your project. So build your business plans and know that you're going to just burn them to the ground the moment you start running your business. It's already too late. Things have changed. They have moved on. So just be very okay with not controlling anything. And if anything we learned from the pandemic is that if you have that illusion that you control things, it's definitely not what the reality is. So be very cool with not taking it too seriously. Have fun and know where you're going. Keep that big why in mind. And at the end of the day, remember why you're doing things.
Thank you so much, Alejandro. I really, really hope all of the teams have been taking their notes, having their notebooks out, because these are definitely once in a lifetime recommendations and comments on how to take their businesses to the next level. So thank you so much, Alejandro, for that. This was super, super, super inspiring, eye-opening, and also very grounding, and not knowing we're in control of everything, not assuming we have the answers for anything, and asking the right questions. That's what I'm taking from all of this conversation today. So thank you, Alejandro. Now we're going to go into a 10-second break while we welcome our next speaker. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Perfecto, excelente. Vamos.
Hi everyone, welcome back. Now we are almost finished of our first night in our Impact Summit. So now, as I was introducing before, we have brought our last speaker of the night, a true example of women empowerment and Mexican impact enterprises, Cristina, CFO of Grillum. Cristina, we are ready for you. The stage is all yours.
Perfect. Thank you, Ivana. Well, hi guys. It's a pleasure to be with you here today. And I want to talk with you a little bit about what is Grillum, and just so you know it if you don't have heard about us. But also I want to talk with you what had inspired me to become today who I am, the person that I am, and the impact that we're doing in Grillum, principally in Mexico, but also all around the world. So Grillium is basically a company who is dedicated to create the future of food. And what is that? Is that we create powder cricket. We cultivate the crickets and then we transform the crickets to make it a powder that can be used in the food industry as an ingredient to produce all the processed foods that you consume daily, such as cookies, bread, totopos, tortillas, pasta, and all that you can imagine. And how this started. So everything started with Alejandro. He is a biotech engineer who is very passionate of food, eating, and good nutrition. It all started because of a personal drive and a personal idea that he mainly in all the first years of his life, he was a chubby and short guy. He managed to take the chubby part out of his life, but he remained short. And that is something that passionates him in make something better in food. And there we have Francisco, that he is a passionate of working on fields and to be in contact with people. He loves helping people. He loves working in the field, in the greenhouses. So mainly he is the one who makes all the magic with crickets, who produces them and then take it to a powder that can be used in the industry. And finally, there is me, Christina, and I am a person that knew these guys when I was in my third year of my career. I studied international business, and I am very thankful that I knew these two persons in my life. I can be thankful to life or to destiny, however you can call it. And really, when I heard about crickets, I was like, well, I can make a change on this. I can make something maybe better. It sounds very easy, but no, it's a very different way of doing things in many different ways. So it was very impact for me that I said that in Grillium, I could really make a change. And why is that? Is because I'm a passionate of sustainability. I really think that sustainability can be a global value, not just a part of the companies, but also a global value by itself. So the thing that mainly has inspired to me to be the person who I am today, that wants to make a change in the world, there are two persons that had inspired the person who I am, and to have these thoughts that I having right now. And the first one is my grandmother, and she is an Ukrainian woman that have lived the sequels of the post-World War II. So it's very interesting because she's a woman that always thought to me that you can make so much more things or so many things with so little. And it is true. You don't need to have so many things. You just need to have the passion. The Okay. Sorry, there was a technical problem, but as I was saying to you, I am gladly to share with you that we are not just like a normal company that works to make something, but we share all this knowledge and technology with one of the biggest networks of cricket producers in Latin America. And this is something that we founded with producers in Guanajuato, that is a state of Mexico. And these are 5 greenhouses that are managed by 5 producers by each greenhouse. So we are really happy to work with people that really thinks in changes, that really thinks that the Mexican field can have change, not just for today, but for the future generations. So I want to show you something with how is the flower, so you can have an idea. We use the whole insect. We don't take the antennas or their legs. We use it all. So this is how it looks. And if you make cookies or anything that you can do in your kitchen, like bake, I don't know, some cake, or you can make also a milkshake, you are going to have like a very, very light brown color, and the taste is very light. You don't know that it's cricket powder. So it is a new way of eat to make more nutritious your food. And also, when you can find products here in Mexico with Grillium, is Smart Bites. They are a bite, a bite of some flavors like, oh, sorry, I forgot, chai, for example, and totolines are a style of totopos. And grillo is a powder, a protein powder. Gricha, they make cookies. And One Chance is a brand that I am very happy also to share with you. And this is one example of making things happen. And October past year, we associate with another 2 crazy guys, 2 amazing guys named Pablo and Rafael. They are the founders of Parcela Studios, and we associate the 5 of us to make this brand that it names by itself, like One Chance. Is a chance to save the planet, a chance to eat better, a chance to retribute to the Mother Earth or to the future generations, a chance to make things like they have to be done. So this is a new way of seeing things. It is a special brand that consumers can use in their kitchen, in their houses or in their homes. And that's why we are very happy to announce that this is another brand already in the market. And this is the team. So you can see it now. We are 5 people, 5 crazy people that we are jumping for the future. And what I can say to you mainly is that no matter how things get hard along the way, because for entrepreneurs, it's always like a roller coaster. I don't know, today you are in the point that, wow, everything is amazing. And the next day you are like, I don't want to do nothing. I am sick of it. And you have to be constant. You have to be very passionate. I know that I use so much this word, but for me, it's like, if you love what you do, no matter if you have a rainy day or you have a tornado, you say, I don't care, I'm gonna do the things. So, well, after 5 years that we have jump to like make things done, I can say that passion is one thing, constant is another, and think not only for you, because humans, we tend to think for only for us, but I think that the past year and also this year, with all what we are living, for example, the pandemic and COVID, it has been a big change, that the things that we used to do, or the things that have been for like many years in the same way, they are not or already good for us. They are not ready the things that had to be done right now. We had to change. We need to make things very different if we want to keep for the future generations and for humans a better way to live. So I will leave you here how you can find us on Instagram or in Facebook. You can also see our webpage, and I will share also my email. If you have any question, any doubt, if I or someone of my team can help you, we are very gladly to hear you and to help you jump for the next steps that you need to take. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grillo and Cristina, for everything you have shared with us today. Now, change makers, let's all express our gratitude to Grillo by showering them with heart reacts and clapping reacts, and also a Q&A questions session. So please, Nelly, would you like to take over for the Q&A with Chris?
For sure, for sure. Thank you, Anna. Cristina, I'm super happy to meet you. We hadn't met in person, but I'm glad we're coinciding here now. I'm sure all of our startups are super inspired. And now I see a couple of questions coming in your way. So, to give a little bit of context again, we have around 200 change makers that are going to pitch tomorrow their startups on Food for Good. Some of them have been working on them for 3 to 6 months. So the first question is, have you encountered any huge difficulties with cruelty-free movements or the vegan community? How have you dealt with that? Or any other like small story you'd like to share around difficulties with your business that you could tie to any, tips and tricks for them that are just starting their journey right now?
Okay, well, yeah, when you are starting or launching a new industry, you have many rocks in the way. It's not impossible. It's not like you are not going to make it, but it is sometimes frustrating. And yeah, for example, the cricket industry has been only 8 years in the market. Compared to the one of the cattle industry that has been for 100 years. So it's a big difference. And yeah, also the plant-based industry has been for more than 40 years, 30 to 40 years in the market. So it is a very new industry that is growing. And yeah, it is true. We have encountered with many shocks from people what? You are going to selling me insects? It's very crazy. But when you start to telling people you're not going to eat the insect whole, you're just going to eat it in a powder that can be added in your mainly daily food, people is okay, how can I use it? What are the benefits? And when you talk not only the nutritious part that is huge, but you talk also the impact in sustainability or in earth, people are okay, maybe I am a vegetarian, maybe I'm a person who only eats fish, for example, and do not eat meat, but I'm gonna try it. With vegan people, it is a little bit, I don't say impossible, it's difficult because they really don't eat anything that is from an animal source, and insects are an animal source. So it's a change that I think that is going to be for years, but it can happen. But for now, the people that don't eat that type of thing are vegans. Yeah.
Got it. So connected to that question is you've been on the business for a couple of years now. So our next question is, some of the teams are presenting ideas that are trying to substitute one product with another. Let's say protein with something that is not coming from meat directly, among other examples. So question is, do you think, and have you seen in the last couple of years, a drift among the consumers that you think this will be a new market that it's worth exploring? Or do you think everything staying more or less the same? Like, what's your opinion, like being in the industry right now?
Yeah, of course, it is an industry that it has an estimate to growing like $30 billion for the next 3 years. So it is an industry that is growing very fast, and it is still like there is still a taboo in insects, like because it's just an animal that goes in the ground. It's just like I don't know how to eat it, and yeah, it's very new that people is like it, I don't know how to take this, but if you teach me and you need to make all this marketing or all this community to start growing and to make people like saying this is changing in many aspects. Industry are very interested on it, but they are still like ambiguous, or maybe like they don't know where to move because they don't see that consumers are asking for it still now. But the market is growing. There are so many brands that are all over the world. It's not just Mexico. Um, there are so huge funds that are investing in on insect industry. So it is an industry that I can say that in the future 5 years, in the next 5 years, you will see already very, very, very soon in your supermarket so many products with crickets, with another insect that everybody is going to be like, oh, okay, it's normal. This
Cool.
is
So I
like
have
it happened with plant-based.
Cool. I have two last questions for you. One is,
Yeah.
what's the most unusual thing you have cooked or someone else has ever cooked with the powder? And the last one is around tips and tricks for them that are going to be presenting these tomorrow. Like, do you think they should focus more on the impact, on the food, on the food section of their startup? Any tip that you can give to the teams before their pitch tomorrow? Those are our last two questions for you.
Okay. I cannot say, but maybe the thing that we have done, like in food, it can be like pizza, breads, pasta. We have tried so many recipes that you can put it also in your soup, for example, and you just have more protein. It's more protein, but without any flavor. You can eat your soup, your whatever, and it's very good. It has another taste, like different. So you can make whatever you want in recipes. And tips that I can give to these guys, it will be that focus mainly in, I can say, in the problem, really. If you can explain really good your problem, and then how this is going to happen, like truly, not just taking numbers and taking percentages and all that stuff. If you can really focus so good on your problem that you can say how it's going to be and how this is going to change and make an impact, all based on money, but not making all that in the financial part, I can say that that is some good stuff. And also, if you have already some expertise, it doesn't matter how, it doesn't matter in what way, you need to tell it, because that is very important. If you have something to share, it is better to do that, because entrepreneurs assume that always, like we have all the things solved or all the problems done, and that's not true. Something that we have encountered all these 5 years is that it is good to ask for help. It is good to say things. It is good to use the network that you have. So that are the tips that I can give to the guys.
Thank you so much, Cristina. It was great having you with us. I'm sure all of our teams are one, super inspired, and two, hopefully ready to put in action all of the tips that you shared today. Ivana, we're gonna hand it off to you, where we'll close our Q&A now and move forward with our next speakers. Thank you again, Cristina. It was great having you with us.
Thank you. The best of luck. Bye.
Thank you, Nelly, and thank you, Christina, once more for all of your super inspiring advices and for bringing here Grillum to us. Now, I don't know if you all know about Inc. Monterrey, but it is the largest entrepreneurship festival in Latin America. So let's welcome Yvonne Padilla from Inc. Monterrey to share with us an exciting opportunity. Yvonne, we are ready for you. The stage is completely yours.
Thank you, Ivana. Hey, how are you? My name is Yvonne Padilla. I am a strategic leader for In Monterrey Alliances. So for me, I am very, very excited to share with you at this time that In Monterrey it's a great platform. So we can help you achieve your milestones and make your ventures stand out with success. So before I enter the topic, I would like to present a short video about the innovative spirit of In Monterrey to all of you. So please, let me just a second.
Now we're gonna wait a bit until the video is completely okay. There it goes. I can confirm we are seeing the video now.
Iván,
Yvonne, we might have to share the video again if you don't mind, so we can put the audio on and our audience
sure.
can enjoy the video. Don't worry.
God, technical issues, sorry.
Seems like that's a problem nowadays. Middle of a pandemic, it's okay.
I think that it's ready now.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Emprendedoras y emprendedores, me da mucho gusto saludarlos. El año 2020 será recordado como un parteaguas en nuestra historia reciente, ya que el mundo cambió radicalmente.
Discipline, that's a bridge that separates your goals to ultimately your success. That's what discipline is.
That trust and vulnerability are often confused. We often think that we need to trust so that we can be vulnerable and transparent with others. He said it's actually the other way around, that if you can be vulnerable and transparent, you build trust.
Our world is dependent on people, scientists and inventors and even business people, all kinds of artists that do one thing and have a great focus on that one thing and improving that.
Invitarlos a ser actores de esta transformación. No solo esperar por lo que está haciendo Microsoft, por lo que está haciendo Amazon, por lo que está haciendo Google. Nosotros tenemos la posibilidad no solo de usar la tecnología, sino de crearla, ser un creador, un autor.
Faith itself is just like money. It's an object of energy that we put into the flow to get what we want, even when we're making investment decisions.
momento de reducir cosas y enfocarte en lo más importante. ¿Qué vas a dejar de hacer? ¿Qué vas a empezar a hacer? ¿Qué vas a continuar haciendo para poder crecer tu compañía en estos tiempos difíciles?
Cuando logras transmitir a través de un software, a través de un producto, a través de algo físico o virtual, la idea que tú estás desarrollando durante tiempo, yo creo que eso es lo más interesante que podemos ver nosotros, esas ideas plasmadas en algo.
Este programa está diseñado para startups que buscan crecer. Es un programa innovador para las mejores startups lanzadas al mercado de Latinoamérica, que ofrece herramientas de aceleración, vinculación y mentoría con distintos actores en un solo lugar.
No siempre soy lo que aparento. Por fuera soy más grande. Digo caigo por dentro. Y pronto todo pasó. Es que llegaste como lluvia de la cavidad.
Ustedes, los emprendedores, serán protagonistas de grandes historias. Felicidades por hacer posible este evento, la 8ª edición de Inc. Monterrey.
Hey, great video, right?
Amazing
So, yeah, I know. I mean, just remember all that images and all that people, great people that coming together the past year was terrific. Now we all know that we are in times of opportunity, of fostering the creation and promotion of opportunities that translate into ventures that go on the market and focus on solving the most urgent problems of the humanity. And that's why each one of us are right here today, right? So in Monterrey, Tex de Monterrey platform since 8 years ago promotes innovative entrepreneurship, connecting the different agents of the ecosystem with a great festival, challenges for entrepreneurs, and an active and open community in Mexico and Latin America. In collaboration with large national and international organizations, we seek to build this new generation of entrepreneurs and become a great tool that encourage the union of the communities. And that's why we are now an open platform that brings together all the actors of the entrepreneurial ecosystem of the world. So this year in Monterrey focus on the center team, creating change and building opportunities, which is a priority issue on the public agenda that involves reducing the digital divide to promote social development and a sustainable future. And this year we wanted to have 3 summits in our festival based on trends and innovation, just like life and human being, immersive science, and tech business hacks. So our platform is a great opportunity to continue doing networking, not only with Mexican entrepreneurials and big corporations. Now this year in a virtual platform, you will be able to link with the speakers, attendees, sponsors, and organizations from other ecosystems. You will have the opportunity to participate in the meetups created to exchange opinions, and also to participate in the question and answer sessions with our speakers that have a great value for all our entrepreneurs. Also enter to social groups created to expand your network of contacts in the community area, and learn about the opportunities of our calls that in Monterrey has for you. We will provide information with in a virtual trade show and many more functions and opportunities to live a great festival during in Monterrey this year. So I want to share with you also all the opportunities that we have. I know that here in the audience are great entrepreneurs and has great startups and projects and ideas. And for this moment, I want to share with you the opportunity, the different calls that in Monterrey develop during the festival. So here they are. Okay, I think that you are seeing my platform, right?
Yes,
My screen,
confirm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Well, here in the slide, we have 4 great opportunities for the entrepreneurs that have, like I say, like ideas, like prototypes, or if you have a startup. So the first one is Be Challenge, who is an entrepreneurial experience in a virtual bootcamp designed to live a unique entrepreneurial experience to generate your first project or technological base. So if you are searching to have these great tools and opportunity to start your way in the entrepreneurial ecosystem, it's a great opportunity for you. The next, we have Ink Prototype. Ink Prototype is a prototype contest, a university competition for students and researchers, which provides linkage with technology communities and enterprising. So it's a great opportunity for the alumni to have projects and are in the stage of prototype. It's a great competition for all of you. And in addition, we have a great opportunity for startups that are in the earliest stage. So this is a competition of the best startups of Mexico and Latin America. So it has pitch competitions, bonding, mentoring, and exposure. You have a virtual booth during our trade show, so it's a great opportunity to expose your project and ideas. But also, we develop several challenges, like we have the Heineken Green Challenge, which is a challenge designed for Mexicans with high impact solutions to be implemented in our country. So this kind of opportunity and several another opportunities you will have during our festival. So I'm going to present another videos of some great entrepreneurs that participate in one of these excellent opportunities, so you can know them. And let's see. Here I go.
¿Qué onda, gente? ¿Cómo están? Mi nombre es Marco Villalobos y formo parte del equipo de Cónsulo. Nosotros participamos en Link durante el 2018 y actualmente Cónsulo se dedica a crear este hub de mentores, ya sea para empresas privadas, públicas o inclusive freelancers, para que ellos puedan monetizar su tiempo y puedan llevarse conexiones de valor. Síganos en nuestro Facebook y ahí nos vemos. Saludos. ¿Qué onda, gente? ¿Cómo están? Mi nombre es Marco Villalobos.
Hola amigas y amigos, soy Don Hyun Lee, cofundador de Mudanzas Tecnovi. Tecnovi es la forma más fácil de mudarte. Somos una plataforma digital que conecta entre clientes y socios mudanceros para brindarte una gran experiencia en tu mudanza. Hemos tenido el honor de participar en In Accelerator Edición 2020, un evento que posiciona y acelera el aprendizaje de las startups en tan solo unos días. Muchas gracias, In Monterrey.
Great, thank you. Well, like these entrepreneurs and several more of all over the Latin American ecosystem participate in these great opportunities. So actually, I want to invite you also to visit our In Monterrey online platform that we have, a virtual space for continuous bonding with co-created content that generates value for the growth of the entrepreneur. You will find great opportunities for you to expand your knowledge and also to get more tools to get your entrepreneurship ideas, projects, and startups to the next level. So another thing that I want to share with you is that for all the participants in this Monterrey Impact Summit Hult Prize in Monterrey have a great surprise. So I want to thank you, all of you, for your time and for being here, for your power and all the things, the great things that you have to really support one great change in our world. So congratulations to all of you. Shortly we are gonna pass away the surprise, but we are very excited about you. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yvonne, for all of the information you shared with us. And well, what a day, everyone. We have had everything. We have had really inspiring words, really like strong reality checks. We have had amazing opportunities such as the one Yvonne had just said about, and we have had suspense. We have had everything. So I would really love to know how everyone is doing after all of these activities. So please leave your comment on the chat box. And here in my other screen, I'm seeing a couple of heart reacts and clapping reacts, which I think is a good indicator that your day with us was truly well spent. Now, last but not least, our last speaker of the night. Let's welcome Dr. Ricardo Romero, Business Dean of Tec de Monterrey, Monterrey region, to give us a closing message. So, Dr. Ricardo, the stage is all yours. Thank you for being with us.
Hi, do you listen to me?
Yes, we can listen to you.
Thanks for letting me share a short message to close the day. After listening the great testimonies of Alejandro and Cristina with examples of what a great impact you can make in the life of others. I hope you are all keeping yourselves safe and healthy during this challenging time. First of all, I want to thank the organizing committee that makes this edition of the Hult competition a reality. Tecnológico de Monterrey is one of the pioneers in entrepreneurial education in Latin America. Today, The training and development of entrepreneurial leadership continues to be a great pillar of our institution. I hope you take advantage of all the opportunities of the coming Inc. Festival that Yvonne just explained. In times of crisis, such as the one we are facing, entrepreneurs focus on opportunities instead of problems, opportunities to create value and to make a positive impact in the world. The human creativity is unlimited. Talent is not linked to any geography, color, religion, or socioeconomic status. And the internet gives your generation free access to unlimited information. With these three elements, information, talent, and creativity, I am sure you will surprise the judges with novel ideas to solve world challenges. I cannot wait to see them. Tomorrow is the competition. Prepare your pitch. Make sure that you are very clear communicating the benefits of your proposal. Explain why it is the best option to solve the problem. Show your passion for your idea and remember that the devil is in the details. Above all, be humble, enjoy the experience, and whatever the outcome of this competition, keep in mind Alejandro Sousa's passion formula as a compass to your entrepreneurial journey. Find a purpose in a big why. Work with discipline and perseverance with the hope you will achieve your goal and to make an impact in the world. I wish you luck and may the force be with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ricardo, for your inspiring words. And now we have one more quick announcement made by Nelly. So please, Nelly, could you give us your announcement?
Sure, thank you, Ivana. Thank you so much for that. And thank you, Dr. Ricardo, for your warm welcome and kind words. I'm sure all of our students are super inspired and felt a warm welcome. As we say in Mexico, mi casa es tu casa. But yes, our quick announcement. So I'm sure everyone is now super excited about Inc. Monterrey. You guys are dying to figure out how to get tickets to go. My recommendation is one, participate in your Piñata Challenge. If you have questions, don't know what you're talking about, please reach out. This message, I'm sorry for all of those watching us live, is exclusive for our Hult Prize participants. Please, Hult Prize participants, reach out to your team ambassadors. They have all details on the Piñata Challenge, and this is your first opportunity of the summit to get your tickets to INC Monterrey. I have to say, I've been to INC Monterrey probably like 5 years in a row. I never miss it. And it's an experience of a lifetime that you definitely want to take advantage from. So go ahead, participate in the Piñata Challenge. And I look forward to meeting you at least virtually, although hopefully we can meet everyone in person by then. So, okay, that's it from my side, Ivana. Good luck, everyone, for tomorrow. Super happy to see you all. And back to you.
Thank you so much, Nelly. Now, okay, being that said, it's a wrap. What an inspiration of a day we just had. So let's hope that's a good start for tomorrow's big day. And for everyone watching us live, thank you so much for being here with us today. And for all of our participants, make sure you arrive tomorrow, 8 a.m. sharp, directly into your pitching rooms. Thank you all. My name is Ivana, and I will see you tomorrow. Have an excellent day, everyone.
The winning team is Rutopia from Tec de Monterrey.